All right, I think we are live, everyone.
Yay!
I'm here with PJ Jackson, who I met many years ago when she was at Lockheed Martin and I was at a company called Best Practices. And we've stayed in touch through LinkedIn. Yay, love the power of LinkedIn. And so excited to introduce her to you today. She has done so many amazing things. So she has written a couple of books. Here's the covers of those. I love the artwork. And I'm actually listening to the Labyrinth Influence right now on my mobile
Oh,
device.
that's great.
Audible is awesome. So love it. Thank you. Uh, and with that, I'm going to turn it over to you, PJ. I'm making it short and sweet for the folks that are coming in. If you want to just let us know where you're coming in from, we'd love to know that. And then also share some emoji love. What's your favorite emoji? Put it into the screen so we can see that.
Oh, Teresa, thanks so much. This is exciting. This is your first episode.
Yes, The
I'm
Art
so
of Connecting, episode one, season one. Yay!
yay. Well, it's always wonderful to start something new, isn't it? It's just nerve-wracking and scary and exciting all at the same time. And I love your title, The Art of Connecting, because you are such an amazing artist with the work that's behind you. And it's all so beautiful and colorful. And I really appreciate you mentioning my books. Why don't we go full screen for the two of us? And then
Yeah,
we
sure.
can just sort of chat.
Yeah, let me see what I can do. I'm new to this technology, so let me play around with that for a sec.
Welcome from India. Oh, how wonderful.
Yeah, hi, Dr. Mati.
Mati, wonderful. So glad to have you. So I thought, a lot of times when we try to connect with each other, um, it's very, very critical, especially in this month that we're in mental awareness, mental health, connecting with others. We sometimes forget about connecting with ourselves. And that's what I really want to share with everyone today and really focus in on how you can build an A game. Okay, so art of connecting, let's all think about the A's. And so I have three building blocks that I love to talk about and tell stories around when it comes to, oh, Louise, hello. Oh my goodness.
I love you.
So apparently this is going to be up and down, excited when everybody joins and everything. This is
I
wonderful.
know.
It's so great. You're doing great, Teresa. Okay. So what I want to start with are the three building blocks of building your A game. So they're all A. All right. So the first one is attitude. And I always like to do stuff that's sort of interactive where you can maybe take notes, write in your journal, that kind of stuff. So the things that you'll remember. So it's attitude first. So the story around this is 10 years ago, I was diagnosed with a stroke. So I was at the height of my career. I was traveling around the country and I woke up in a hotel room to the second day of an event that I was facilitating, and I was paralyzed on one side. And later that day, an emergency doctor in the emergency room told me and diagnosed me that I had had a stroke. So think about the attitude that happens when something like that occurs in your life. And so you have three choices. You can be powerless and just give up and feel like you're a victim. You can have an attitude that's conditional. Well, I'll get better if my team thinks I'm better, or I'll be successful if my boss takes me back to work, or if I can do this, or if I can do that. Right? It's very conditional. Um, but then there's a third attitude, which is powerful, and that is the choice that each of us has to make: powerless, conditional, or powerful. And so, hey, Teresa, why don't we stop the music in the background?
Yeah.
Thank you. So, when I was diagnosed with the stroke, that was my attitude. What was I going to choose? So every time we have a challenge, every time we have something that comes out of the blue that we don't know what to do with, we have to connect with our own attitude. How do we look at this? Is it that we can't do anything and we're a victim? Is it something that, well, if somebody else does something, then I can do something? Or do we stand in our power? So when we connect to ourselves, we stand in our power. So, first thing, to build your A game, think about your attitude. So, second A is awareness. So now here we are, 2012, 10 years ago or so. I'm back in industry, working hard, and I'm in a workshop. And I have this facilitator in front of me drawing a fishbowl and saying that there's all different kinds of fish, but they all, sort of go in the same stream and they go in the same ponds and they all look alike, they dress alike. And it was the concept of being diverse and understanding a diverse environment. And I realized that my self awareness was aligning with everyone else around me, and that I had been striving to be my father's favorite son. And I was doing a real good job at it. My brother had been a lawyer, and I was an engineer, and I was not aware of myself. And that's when I started working with Deepak Chopra. So I've been blessed to have 5 years of studying under Deepak Chopra to expand my inner awareness. So think about it this way: everything is energy. Everything is energy. And if you do any research around quantum physics and quantum energy, everything, every piece of us and everything in our environment is energy. And when you think about contracted energy or expanded energy, you have the power of that awareness. So when we start to understand ourselves, we then start to be aware of everything else around us. So, how do you do that? Right? So, there's tons of psychometric tools out there that you can use to understand yourself. Now, I have a favorite. And Teresa, I'd like to share my favorite with everyone because I know you've taken this tool with me, and it's really an exciting way of looking at life. So, if you think about 4 quadrants: analytical, which is blue, structural, which is green, social, which is red, and yellow is conceptual. So you can take that down now, Teresa. So if you take a circle and you think to yourself, you are one of those 4 quadrants of thinking, right? Blue, analytical; green, structural; red, relational; and yellow, conceptual. Now, I am trained as a $50 million aerospace engineer. You would think that I would be a certain set of colors, right? Just based on your assumptions of what an engineer, I'm actually trained as an applied scientist. So you would think that I would be a certain set of colors. The truth is, I am only 8% blue and 8% green. So 8% analytical, numbers, and 8% structural, green. I'm more relational and conceptual. So, why does that matter? When you are given any type of psychometric tool and you get some self awareness, you build confidence. When you are aware of who you are, you give yourself permission to be you, not to be everything that everybody else is, but to be you. And that's the second A, awareness. Now, what's the third A? Acceptance. So if you are on LinkedIn and you see the photo, and you want to put that one up, Teresa, the head.
Yeah. Yeah. This one.
Okay, you got that in the LinkedIn live for you to see that. So when we think about acceptance, when I teach my wellness workshop, it's called Self Care for the Mindful Leader. We talk about what you are in control of and what you accept. Acceptance is letting go of judgment, knowing what you are in control of, how you handle challenges, where you give your energy, how you speak to yourself, because that voice in your head can either be your champion or your critic. What boundaries do you set? What are the goals that you set? What are the thoughts and actions? Those are things of you are in control of. But what happens is we start to feel that we have to control everything on the outside, the opinions of others, the actions of others, our future, which makes us anxious, and our past, which makes us regretful. And then what happens around us, what other people think of us, the outcomes of our efforts, and how others take care of themselves. Okay, Teresa, you can take that down.
Okay.
So when you think about it, you have the ability to build your A game. The attitude that you choose, whether it's powerless, conditional, or powerful, your awareness, whether it's expanded, excuse me, contracted or expanded, and living with an expanded awareness really helps you understand yourself. And then A for acceptance, knowing what you are in control of, accepting yourself just like you are today, this moment. Because the truth is, you were born perfect and complete. It is the social conditioning that is out there in social media, in the world, in news that tells us that we're not enough, that teaches us to dislike ourselves and dislike others. You have the power to accept that you are enough and perfect in this moment. And when you do that, then you are empowered to take the actions that really move you to your true purpose in life. So that's a little bit about me connecting with you because I think the art of connecting with yourself is the most important thing we can do because the most important person you will ever meet is you. So learning to love yourself and to know that you are enough is the greatest gift you can give yourself. So connect with you, and then your life will become abundant. Okay, Teresa, that's my little thing about so. So I love. So what do we have going on there? I know. So you had mentioned how we got together back at Lockheed Martin, but you also are in my Insight group. So
Yes, I am.
say,
So,
say a
um,
few words about that.
well, so yeah, so I was a diver in college and had a coach back then, but this year I decided to sign up for Insights 23 coaching with PJ because I am ready for a coach again, and we did the Emergenetics profile, and it's just a great group of people that come together once a month to share thoughts and perspectives and just help us become what we're supposed to become. It's like you get so busy in your life, your career, and raising children that you kind of forget about yourself a little bit. And so this has been my little time out and focus on me, and having a little support group for that has been super awesome. So that's part of the reason why I wanted to bring you on the show today,
Aw.
and share the joy of
Well,
connecting.
yeah. So the insight piece is what's really beautiful is so every year in January, I put together a very reasonable program so that people can. Um, I understand being a coach, you can invest in yourself, you can really invest in yourself, or you might not have anything that you can invest in yourself, but you still need help, right? So the Insight 23 program was put together at the beginning of the year where 23 people get their emergenetics profile, and every month we come together on the new moon because new moons are designed to set in intentions. And so the Insight group, we do monthly meditation. We do a focus on a piece of our thinking, and then we come together as a group. And what is so beautiful about it is the night before, I will do the meditation and the activity directions and send that out to everyone. And then those that can come together live, we don't record it. What we do is we come together and we hold space, a safe space for everyone to share about their growth and how they're learning more about themselves, which is just so wonderful. It really is emotional, and it's beautiful to see people who would never share their personal emotions with each other um, share in that environment. We've got people that choose it over going to a business meeting, which is, of course, a beautiful thing. And it's a lovely group, energy wise. That's the feedback I get all the time is, boy, this is great energy. I just don't want to miss this. And those that watch the recording can watch it all month long. So we do a different chakra meditation and use the Sohum or I am universal mantra and just do some breathing. So that's really a beautiful way to do that.
And wasn't this month I am love?
Yes. So this month was the heart chakra, which is the bridge between our ego and what we believe about ourselves and how we show up in the world. And so I added the I am love if people wanted to use that one. So each month we go through the chakras because that's what my coaching is around. So I am a intuitive mindset coach. So what I do is I teach the levels of consciousness, and my coaching is called fourth level coaching. And so we are, as humans, we're defaulted at ego, right? So survival, belonging, and achievement are the first three levels. Well, that fourth level is transformation. And that's where we let go of our fear. It's where we find ourselves. And then we start to self actualize and become in service to make a difference and then become enlightened. So, that fourth level coaching, if any of you out there are like, I'm just, there should be more in my life. I'm not sure if I'm on the right path. Um, why is it that I don't really enjoy the work I do anymore? Maybe I should be doing something different. Maybe I'm not happy in the relationship I'm in right now. We all continue to grow in life. And that level of transformation, that fourth level of consciousness, we start to expand our awareness. We actually start realizing that that's a trigger. I don't like it when someone does that, and I don't want to be on a team that does that anymore. I don't like when my boss treats me this way, and I don't want to have that kind of boss anymore. I don't like that my community is doing this, and I want to do something about it. That's where transformation starts to come to the surface for us. We are all on a journey, and our souls evolve at different paces. Some never leave ego, and some arrive at enlightened. We are all in the right place that we're supposed to be. And when we reach that fourth level, sometimes it can feel like a huge struggle. Like, I can't believe all of this is changing around me. Some of the key signs are you're no longer friends with the people that you were once friends with. You don't enjoy doing the things that you always spent your time doing before. You're starting to be more involved in the climate, the planet, the community, taking care of yourself, putting yourself first. I will tell you, I did not start focusing on me until my 50s. Imagine that. Spending 50 years being a people pleaser and focused on what everybody else wanted me to do. Didn't mean I wasn't successful, but it certainly meant I was unhappy. And when you start to focus on yourself, not in a selfish way, not like, oh, look at me, I'm so wonderful, I'll do whatever I want for me, but in a way that says, I'm worthy of being loved and being put first, and I'm worthy of getting a good night's sleep, of having good food to eat, to having a job I enjoy, that I am important and I'm not at the bottom of my list. And that's the evolution of connecting with yourself. And all of this happens up here. A lot of it can happen in writing, and a lot can happen when you have discussions with others. And that's what's real great about having a coach is actually being asked pointed questions. Um, I will
Well,
say,
you give us homework too, and
ah,
some templates that we can use to fill stuff in. So,
well, I did. So a couple of months ago, we did an exercise about metaphors and connecting with yourself through metaphors. And what I shared with everyone was, okay, think about a bird. Okay, so if you were to connect with a bird as yourself, would you be a bird in the shell? like you're just birthing, would you be a bird in a cage? And do you feel like you're jailed or restricted? Would you be a bird coming out of a cage, like now you're free? Or would you be a bird on a wire, tight roping, not sure what you're thinking or asking? And so, simple little tools like that, when someone else asks us. So, if any of you out there are parents, you know that if you ever ask, as a parent, you ask a child a question, they won't do it, or you ask them to do a task, they won't do it. But if their teacher asks them, or if the neighbor asks them, or if grandma asks them, they will. And it's the same thing with personal coaching. A lot of times it just takes that prompt from someone else to say, you know, tell me what your life is in a metaphor.
It's just helps to have somebody who's objective and who has also your best intentions for you, to help you become. I mean, that's what being an athlete and having a coach was about, was just getting better. So constructive feedback was never hard because I wanted to be better, so just having somebody to kind of ask you questions and think about things is great.
Absolutely. So the biggest question, so Deepak has 4 soul questions. So Deepak Chopra is a spiritual guru that's been around for quite a long time. And his 4 questions are, who am I? Am I, um, well, hold on, let's do this differently. So I have 3 questions that I use with my coaches. Let's start with that. Who am I? Am I on the right path? And what do I believe about myself? Deepak's 4 soul questions are, who am I? What do I want? What am I thankful for? And what is my purpose? And so each spiritual leader will come up with different variations. I felt that Deepak's were so spiritual that a lot of times people in professional roles get turned off by too much of that kind of deep inner thinking. But the who am I is huge. If you were to sit and write today, who am I bet you will start with your resume and all the labels that you use. I'm a woman, I'm a mom, I'm a spouse, I'm a sister, I'm an aunt. Oh, okay, so I'm an engineer, I'm an applied scientist. Um, I'm a doctorate graduate. I'm from Ohio. I'm an American. When you think about it, you just start going to labels. That's the first level. You have to keep uncovering who you are at your core, not what you tell people you do, but who you are. And for me, that journey took me about 3 years to go from just labels and my resume to the things, my values that I believed in, to land on the fact that I am love and I am light. And I'm okay with that. The difference is there's no title to that, there's no job to that. That's just pure being. And it is so refreshing to live life in conscious awareness where you focus on love and light and holding space for others. So I think that's, Teresa, that's what comes through, I think, in those monthly meetings, is that there's no agenda. It's just helping.
Yeah. No, I had done a yoga retreat in Costa Rica last year, and I wanted some way to kind of maintain that momentum. And this was a perfect way to do that. It's like I wanted to take Costa Rica with me, and now I have it in my office with other people. And it's wonderful. And learning about things like, the vibrations. And I actually bought a sound bowl for my daughter, and, like vibrations really work. Like it's pretty cool. So,
I just saw something the other day on the news. So there was a person with a tuning fork and a tuning fork. And on the other side of the tuning fork was this little rubber ball hanging there, right? And the one tuning fork, when they hit it, the vibration didn't hit the other tuning fork and everything just sat still. Okay. When they matched the tuning forks and they hit this tuning fork, the ball over here started
Yes.
moving.
That's so cool.
It is so cool. There is so much about our world that we just can't see that
Yeah.
really affects us.
Yeah. No, I did a sound bath in Costa Rica, and the first time I thought it was a little out there, and then the second time I couldn't wait. I went back again this year, and I was like, yes, I can't wait to take a sound journey.
Absolutely. Well, forest bathing is amazing. So,
Yeah.
one of the things that Deepak taught us was the five senses meditation, where you go out into nature and you use all five of your senses to find the, what is it, sound, taste, smell, hearing, and touch. And when you focus on that, because a lot of times people say, I can't meditate. I can't meditate. I can't silence my mind. And the truth is, it's not about silencing your thoughts, it's about coming into alignment with your inner core. And so some people do it in nature, some people do it through activities. It does, you can meditate while you're stirring your pasta sauce at the stove. It's not required that you sit in a lotus position with your eyes closed and go,
Yeah. When I learned I could do active meditation, that was like the light bulb went off, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can meditate while I'm doing my rowing machine or while I'm, doing my workouts. Like I'm definitely an active meditation person.
and that's okay because it's funny, and I tell this in a lot of my workshops is the first question Deepak would always get is, how do I know I'm doing my meditation right? And his answer would be, if you sit down with the intention to meditate, you've done it right. It doesn't matter what yours looks like, you've done it right. And I
That's
always love the second question. Deepak, I tried to meditate, but I fell asleep. What does that mean? And his humor is just so dry. He would say, it means you're tired and you should sleep.
Which is another thing I'm trying to do is actually I'm trying to learn to take naps and sleep when I'm tired instead of just go grab that extra cup of coffee, because you feel like you should always be productive. And I'm like, no, when I was in college, I took power naps and they were great. And I need to learn how to do that again. So,
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, Teresa, I can see by the clock we're almost out of time. Would you like me to do a good vibe card?
yes, please, please.
Woo!
This
Okay.
is my favorite part of our monthly meeting.
Wonderful. So these are called good vibe cards, and they are built by a woman and her daughter that are just amazing. So her name is Shaman Isabella Stoloff, and it comes with its own little booklet. And so what we do every session is based on the energy that I put out in whatever we're doing. I just do a little shuffle, and then we pull one, and it's everyone's good vibe card, and it's just a great way to connect. See, we go back to our title here, The Art of Connecting, a lot of different ways. In fact, I sent one of these to a woman in Sedona, Arizona, who does full moon fires. So she brings people from the community together to sit around a full moon and have a fire. And she said, I don't know exactly what we should talk about. And I said, well, have somebody pull a good vibe card and then just let them talk about what it means to them. You
Yeah.
know, everything doesn't have to be rocket science. It can just be what you feel in your heart. That's the beautiful of it, the beauty of it. All right. Mm, all right. I love this one for many, many reasons. Okay. They're
And
alphabetical.
usually after our sessions, PJ sends a picture of the card so we have it, and we can do that for you in the little chat on this event too.
Absolutely. So your words are spells and your thoughts are things. This is very, very powerful. Each time you speak, you create. Pay attention to what you say. It's very important. You will hear your truth when you really listen to your words. The same holds true with your thoughts. By shifting your words and thoughts to be more positive, you learn how to manifest from a higher state of consciousness. Keep positivity with your loving self talk. Watch your thoughts. Become the observer of your thoughts. Be conscious of the energy you are putting out. Your affirmation is I create a high vibrational life.
Yay.
Oh, that's so wonderful.
Well, and I think it's great, especially today, since we're on here sharing words and connecting with this wonderful network on LinkedIn. So thank you all for coming.
Thank you, everyone. I'd love to see everything going. I want to go back and read everything. So I'll go back and comment to anything that everybody has said. So if you have any questions, make sure you throw them in the comments and I'll keep going back over the next couple of days. Even if you watch this after the fact, be happy to share feedback and answer any questions. Teresa, thank you so much. Big
Oh, well, big hug. Thanks for being my first speaker on my Art of Connecting. And we do have our next speaker planned. So it's a colleague of mine from work, Tiffany Schubert, who's a physical therapist. And she does a lot about healthy aging. And this past 2 years, my mom has been pretty ill. And then just seeing how frail she became made me want to take care of my body now so that I can be more resilient when I am older and help people like my mom be more resilient and bounce back. So look forward to having Tiffany the last Thursday in June, June 29th. And I'll be posting about that as well. But thank you so much all for coming. Thank you, PJ. This was wonderful.
Absolutely. Thank you. Have a wonderful rest of your day wherever you are in the world. Take
Thank
care.
you. Bye, everybody.